At the Amazing Brokerage, you will never ever deal with an inexperienced agent. And you may think, Danny, what on earth are you talking about? Much to my surprise, when I joined the real estate industry, I started noticing that basically you could get your license. You right now, not knowing anything about real estate, could do these courses, get your license. The second you get your license, you could join any brokerage, and within that time, within about a week, they'll be putting you in front of live clients in order to give them real estate advice, which is absolute ludicrous if you think about it from any sort of perspective. So what I was looking at, what we have is when an agent joins, is we have training and a supervision period. And this can last a long time, up until they're up to a standard where they have the knowledge in order to give clients advice. And the fact that other brokerages don't do this is kind of crazy. I mean, you do have your veteran brokerages, the larger brokerages that will only hire experienced agents. But really, when you think where are agents going to get involved in the industry and where are they really going to learn, and how long does it take them to learn, and can they survive while learning? So really, what I found coming into the industry is it was very, very crazy the way in which it works. So what I look to do is we set up a 3, 6, 9, 12-month training program, depending on how long it takes them to get up to standard in whatever area. And then we have a test called the knowledge, where basically before I put somebody out there dealing face to face with clients on their own, I want to make sure they know everything I think they should know in order to be considered an amazing agent. And it's a lot. Is our knowledge was based off of the London taxi drivers test. So in London taxi drivers are expected to know every road and every street within the city. And I was like, that's crazy that they expect this from taxi drivers. Why wouldn't we expect a deep level of knowledge from realtors that are going to go out there and interact with clients representing the amazing brokerage? So that's how we came up with the knowledge, and the knowledge is handwritten by me. As much knowledge as I can put into a document about whichever, whether it's commercial, residential, or apartment locating, whichever facet of the industry they're going to be working in. They've got to get through this in order to be working one-on-one with clients on their own. But what this provides for agents is it also provides safeguards, right, to make sure that they know they're doing everything correct. There's checks and balances. Everything's looked over for them. So really, it's an incubation period for them to get good in the industry, which I've found doesn't really exist at the moment. And I may be incorrect. I just haven't seen it. I've spoken to a lot of agents personally, and I just haven't heard of something kind of like this. I've seen programs set up to be that way, and on the surface, they say that they do the same thing, but then people having gone through it, it isn't quite the same. So what does this mean for you as, an individual that's looking for an apartment, home, or commercial space? It means that you'll never, ever be interacting with somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. And I think that's important with any brand, is really what we're doing is having quality controls on realtors before we let them out there. But that way, that's how we can, as I mentioned in other videos, is we've never had a bad review since starting. We've served 400 to 500 clients in the last 3 years, and we've had all 5-star reviews. So we know the process works and the clients like it. Now we're just looking for more and more agents to come in, step up to the plate, want to learn, want to be the best. I always joke with anybody that this is the absolute best place to be if you want to do real estate. But if you don't, it's probably the worst place to be, because we're going to hold you accountable. We're going to hold you to those standards, and we're not going to let them drop for anything. And that doesn't suit a lot of agents, and it's not meant to suit a lot of agents, because we're not looking for a lot of agents. We're looking for the right agents. So something to think about when you are picking a realtor, or when you're picking a brokerage on the other side, is quite simply that, is what are the standards that the brokerage set for the individuals that join their company. Is you could get a really great, from some brands, there's some really great realtors and there's some not so great realtors, and the realtors within the company will tell you that as well, which is surprising, right? And that isn't the environment I wanted to create. I wanted to create an environment where everybody could say, "Hey, if they're working here, then they're held to this sort of standard, and they're held accountable." And I know there are some high-end brokerages that do this, where they only take on experienced agents. But what I'm talking about is from a training starting perspective. I haven't seen anything quite like this. So is if you have, let me know. I'd love to check it out and research it. But so far, as I kind of see what we're doing on the educational standpoint and then also the mentoring standpoint is something very, very unique. And I think every agent that's come into this has told me that they haven't seen this anywhere else. So I really enjoy working with agents and helping them get up to this point and making sure they get to revenue, making sure they hit their goals, but is we are pushing them every single day in order to do that. So, like I said, it's not really for everybody, but working with the amazing brokerage that you won't be dealing with a new agent directly, is you'll at least be dealing with somebody who's been vetted and trained and has the experience to help you with what you're looking for.